Morning. Hi, Jean. Hi, everyone. Hi, Diane. How are we this fine morning? Ready for the heat wave this week? I spotted on our weather chart that it's supposed to be about 22 tomorrow, and then next week it's supposed to snow. I'm sure that won't happen. Oh, good. I'm glad it got there all right, Jean. Morning, Valerie. So I hope some of you managed to catch the memory box shows yesterday and the day before. They really are very cool dies, and you know, lots of potential, which I didn't actually see straight away. But that's the thing with dies. You get to know them as you get to use them. Yeah, heat wave this week. Yeah, amazing. I hope some people will be watching tomorrow though, instead of being outside, because otherwise I won't sell very much, will I? So I'm just slurping my drink while we're watching for people to join. And you've got a glimpse there of some of the lovely dies that are coming up on the Hochanda shows tomorrow with Tutti Designs. So Tutti Designs are an American company. We've been on Hochanda now for, I suppose, 18 months. Must be at least 18 months. Because I've been back on Hochanda for 18 months since my little break, which we won't talk about. And I started with Tutti just after that. So yeah, I mean, we're not, Tutti Designs aren't there every month, so at the moment it's about every other month. Again, American company, so when you see them on Hochanda, then you need to actually make sure that you get your purchase in on the day of the shows. You might have a little bit longer this time, I'm not too sure, because the guys over there are on spring break. But I'm not sure how long obviously the stock will last. Some of the dies don't have very much stock on them at all. In fact, some of them I might not even have stock of when we get live tomorrow, so we'll see. So quick slurp, nearly dropped my drink. Okay, so let's start looking at what we've got here. So I'll try and go through as quickly as possible. So the sample that I shared earlier on, yesterday evening, was made using this lovely little die here. This is your Lovebirds. See, with Tutti, they quite often only have packaging that kind of fits the dies, so there's no wasted packaging. So when you look at the picture there, it looks like it's a teeny tiny die, but in fact it isn't. And this die is probably, well, it is. Oh, what's it say? It said I've ended. I haven't ended, have I? Oh, is it playing me up again? Sorry. Let me just reboot and look at myself again. Facebook. I am there. Honestly, it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So I am there. Right, okay. So we carry on. What was I? Yes, this one is going to be the most vulnerable. There's very, very little stock of this one. So if you like this one, get that as soon as you can. So this actually love birds. Try and keep these in a decent order so I don't lose them. This is actually 2 dies. This is your garden bench seat, and so I mean, I've left mine joined. It's just joined by a little bit of metal there, which you can easily snip off. I've kept them together so that I don't have to use a piece of magnetic sheet, and also that I don't lose one. But you can see that it's going to cut out 2 separate pieces, which is a really, really, really nice design. Great for things like retirement or perhaps engagement, you know. It's just a really nice die. It's a good sized die, that one as well. This is a returning die. We have had this one before, but I think they've got it down as a new today, but it isn't. So this is your poppy stained glass. Again, the packaging makes it look like it's really tiny, but it isn't. It's a really good size die. So, I mean, they don't put their measurements on their packaging, but it is 4 1/4 inches by 3 inches. So it's a really good size die. Obviously, it's going to lend itself to paper piecing really well and all your stained glass techniques. So that's a returning die. Also returning die is this butterfly oval. I really like this one. It's very delicate. Yeah, there's not a lot you can say about it, but it's very, very, very pretty. So that's returning. Another returning die is this butterfly corner, and corners are always useful. Then a new die is the Honeycomb. Really, really like this one. Obviously, you can snip into this and make it into separate sections. You know, you can actually snip just the bee's wings and actually curl them and give them a bit of dimension. I really like that one. And then there's quite a few dies on the show which are going to be suitable for men's cards. So this is your Seashell Lighthouse. Again, a really good, decent size die. So, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, kind of draw lines across and make your lighthouse, you know, because a lot of them are kind of red and white, aren't they? So you could actually do that with that. So to go with the kind of men and seaside theme, we've actually got this die here, which is your fishing net die. And I really like this one. This one is great for kind of mixed media kind of projects. If you want them to, you could actually have put a bit of cotton underneath or some twine with it. You could multi-cut it and stack it up and make it really dimensional. You can use it as a stencil. Lots and lots that you can do with that one. I think I might have one of those left on my website, because I did stock Tutti designs, but because of import charges, I've stopped doing it. Also, this one, I might have this one as well. So this is your rope background, twisted rope background. Again, this is a really good size die. So this one is, I mean, it's almost A6, so it's 5 1/4 by 4 inches, so it's a really, really good size. Again, you could weave things through this. It's going to be great with some of the other dies that I'm going to show you as well later on. If you've got any of Trudy Howard's Under the Sea collection, that's going to work. The fishes and, you know, Poseidon and the mermaid, they're all going to work really well with this. So think about what other stamps you've got. Also some of the fairy hugs stamps, like Oscar the octopus, and some of the other stamps that are from fairy hugs are going to work really well. Sorry, my brain's not working very well today. I'm really tired. I think I had about 10 hours sleep and woke up with a stonking great headache. So hey ho. Now, we had these on last time we did Tutti designs, and I've asked for them to be put on again because we've got quite a few circular kind of dies, and it's nice to have something to map them onto. So we've got these scallop stitch circles, which is a lovely delicate scallop to it, and you've got all your stitching around the outside. So we've got that back again. Obviously that's going to be really useful. There's quite a few cat dies on this show. There's 3 different cat dies, and this is one of the returning dies, which is your kitty window. Again, a really, really good size die, great silhouette. I really, really, really like this one as well. So I'm quite pleased that this one's back. I'll put that in the wrong pile. Sorry, sort my piles out. You can't see my piles, but I'm sorting my piles out. Don't tell Janice. She's very naughty, Janice. Here's another one. So again, a circular one. So this is going to fit with your scallop stitched circles as well. This one's called Best Friends. And if only my cat would sit somewhere with me and do that with me, that would be really nice. So it's quite a small little die, this one, but again, we don't always like really, really big cards. This is 3 inches in diameter. I really like that one. I like anything with a cat on it. And then this one, this is Cat in the Garden. So this is more of an oval, but obviously you can just use it without. You can snip away some of these flowers and use them elsewhere. Nice with a drop shadow, this one. Really like that one. I really like a lot of them. Going back to the kind of seaside theme, kind of men's theme, you've got this die here, which is obviously your ship in the bottle. And the ship actually cuts separately, but it's actually part of the main die, which is really good, because what they could have done is actually given you the bottle and then the ship separately, and it could have cost you more money, but that's actually embedded in it, so obviously you can use that separately because it's a separate die cut if you want to. But yeah, obviously for the guys, because we've got Father's Day coming up in June, so that's a really good one. This is your message in a bottle. These actually come all separate as 3 dies, so you don't have to snip them apart or anything. So obviously we've got your bottle, you've got your kind of message or your manuscript or whatever, and then you've got your little bow, which you know is securing the scroll there, so you can actually just pop it there if you want to. So again, that's going to work very well with the net and with the rope background as well. That's all right, Jean. Jennifer, just reboot, reload the page, and you should be able to watch. It's Facebook. It's pain. This is a really pretty one. This is your dove circle, and very, very delicate. Lots of lovely curly cues on there. Obviously, this is going to be great for any kind of weddings or Valentine's. I know we've passed that this year, but anniversaries, any kind of love kind of related, or just, you know, like a friendship kind of card. Again, it's a circle, so it's going to fit on the scallop stitch circles as well. Then finally for the guys, then we've got the golf clubs. So obviously you can see that the one that's coming up underneath, that's going to work really well with that. It's also going to work well with the die after that as well. So again, for the guys, I think that's really cool. And what you can do is actually cut the die out, sort of say perhaps in pattern paper or a coloured card for the base, and then cut it out again, just that top section out of mirror card or something, and then you've got your golf clubs in there, which are all nice and shiny. Just as an idea. Then we've got some of the tall slimline dies, brain work, and again, remember that a tall slimline card is your A4 folded in half lengthways and then a little bit chopped off. I tend to do half an A4 is 4 1/8 inches wide, and I tend to do the length as 9 1/8 inches. Good. I'm glad it's come back, Jennifer. Well done. So if you have any problems, just reboot the your screen. Yes. So we've got some tall slim lines. We had some tall slim lines yesterday and the day before from Memory Box, and these are some of your tall slim lines from Tutti. We've bought some before, and they've been very, very popular. So there's 4 on this show that you've not actually seen before, so they are actually new to Ho Chanda. So this is your trellis. This one I think is going to make a great stencil as well as a great background. Obviously you could paper piece certain sections in if you want to. If you put this onto acetate, you could do your stained glass window techniques with it. I think it's very versatile, but of course you don't have to use the whole thing. If you want to use a smaller frame, you want to use a square frame, you can actually do that. If you've got a rectangle, you can cut it down and make whatever shape you want to. So it's very, very versatile. So please don't get het up on the fact that you don't want to necessarily make that size card. It's a really, really good worker die, and I think they've put £3 off on each of these. So that's your trellis. Then we've got this one, which is the sorry, names of Slimline Diamond, obviously. This is really cool because if you cut it twice and offset it, you can fill in these diamond gaps, which saves you actually doing loads of paper piecing. That's if you want to do the same colour paper piece. But if you don't want to do the same colour paper piece, obviously cut it out in different colour cards and then just slot them back in again. But again, this is going to really work very well with the golf clubs and with some of the other dies that are on the show as well. So that's that one. And then we got, oh, you drop that, a couple of frames. So this is your wavy scallop stitch frames. This is a nesting die. They don't come on magnetic sheets, so you do have to add those, but obviously because it's a nesting die, I've added my magnetic sheets, so you can see how nicely they nest together. Obviously horizontal or vertical, but again you can cut it down if you want to. So that's, and you make your frames as well. And then there's this one. Now we did have a kind of a wonky frame on the last show, and rather than put them all together, I've actually shown them like this because this is how I cut them, and the waist is quite interesting, which I've put on the other side as well. So obviously with this one, with the other wonky frame one that we had, it didn't have the stitching around the edge. This one has obviously got the stitching. It's just 5 dies in this, so when I cut it, you can see I've cut alternate dies out. So if you wanted to do your frames, you've got alternate dies. But the waist from that gave me these. So it's a 2 fat, isn't it? So well, it's more than that actually. So these are alternate. So these are the waist. They're not necessarily straight, because I wasn't thinking about the waist when I cut them. So my border down here isn't as big as my border there. But obviously now I've seen it, I'll be more careful with my waist. But obviously if you cut all 5 together, you're going to get smaller wonky frames. So that's going to be a different look altogether. So these are really cool. Like I say, the wonky frames last time sold out, so I think these are probably going to be one of the popular ones as well. So look for those, and they're part of the ones that have got £3 off, I believe, because they put them all on the website now, but I don't think the stock is loaded yet. So anyway, have a look. So that's everything that's on the show. So I thought we'd do a couple of really quick and simple, easy peasy demos, really not rocket science, because I need to get my brain in gear and not do anything too taxing. As with the memory box, I've got loads and loads of demos prepped, but obviously, depending on stock, I might not be able to do them all. So let me take a slurp of my drink. I've got my honey and lemon, which I drink virtually every day, and I believe, it might have just been my brain, I believe it keeps the bugs at bay. Now you might recognise this. This is one of my spring plaid slim papers from the memory box shows yesterday. So obviously you're going to use these with whatever slim lines you want to. So these were plain on one side and foiled on the other. I don't know if the stock will be left on their website, because obviously American company again might not be there, but I thought I'd use those. And this is your largest of your frames. They're not called wonky frames, are they? They're called stitched wobbly frames. That's what they're called. So I should probably just say wonky constantly tomorrow. Right, so just to remind you, for those that came late, Tutti Designs are back on her chanda tomorrow at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. And they are an American-based company. So as I always say to you, If there's something you like, that's not working, I need a pin. If there's something you like, you must grab it when you see it, because the stock disappears off of the website normally the same day, but they're away for spring break at the moment, so it might not be closed off immediately. But anyway, don't take that chance. And some of the dies don't have a big stock, and the most vulnerable being the love owls, so you know, unless they load some more between now and tomorrow. So just be careful on that. If there's anything you like, get it. And they do cut like a dream. I do tend to go to the studios with everything cut, because it's just quicker. I can show you more if you're not waiting for my machine to cut. Might not be the right way to do it, but that's how I do it. It's I don't need that. I do need my tweezers though. Where's my tweezers? I haven't fully unpacked yet from yesterday. It doesn't matter, June, if you're late. It's absolutely fine. The most important thing to do is to make sure you catch the shows tomorrow, and also make sure you grab hold of whatever items you want sooner rather than later. Let's do this the other way. Let's do this way so that it fits. There we go. I can see what I'm doing better that way. And then this is just going to go, this is super simple, super simple. Great card for kind of younger members or just cat lovers like me. Is Ed in? Ed's in. I always forget whether he's in or not. He's so quiet, I never know whether he's in, but he is in today. He was out all day yesterday. Didn't come back until about 7 o'clock last night. He struts through the house, you know, as if, you know, you haven't been looking for him all day. As long as there's food in his bowl, he's happy. Alright, so that's just going to go on here. Just mat it onto some black card. Make it pop. So I'll put the frame on flat. So you don't always have to put your frames on foam tape. Obviously, these are quite thin. And remember with these, when you're cutting these, the actual dies have inside and outside cutting edges, so they're not like this one. They're not like this. This has a stitch on the inside and then a cutting edge on the outside. There's no inside cutting edge. So with these, you can actually make yourself your frames all different sizes. With these, you get your frames. One cut through, that does your frame, okay? So don't think that if you put that on and that together, then you're going to get a wider frame, because you're not. So that sometimes catches me out as to how they're going to cut. Oh, what's that? That's a bit of, I don't know what that is. Right, okay. So all we're going to do is just simply add a white die cut with Best Friends on. It's not white, Julia, it's black. Black die cut to either side there like that. I told you it was simple. Easy peasy. Oh, Ed's the cat. Ed's the cat. Yeah, Nathan doesn't go out, so he's not going to come in and strut in, or, you know, he's not going to be out all day. Nathan just stays in all day, every day. I think that's really funny. I'll have to tell him that when he gets up. He does know that I talk about him, and he does know that I've been trying to fix him up. He's not having any of it. Oh dear. One of these days I'll get rid of him. I do love him. Not very often, but I do love him. Right, so let's get rid of the excess glue on that, so we don't get glue everywhere. Just dab it off a little bit. Just don't linger too long. And see if we can get this straightish. Okay. Give it a good press. So doesn't it look lovely just with the black silhouette this is what Tutti Designs do so well, is their kind of silhouette dies. They're just beautiful. You don't need to do a lot with them. You know, you could do, you know, a lot of us have got these kind of backgrounds lying around, haven't we? You know, that we've met, well, I've got loads anyway. Because obviously you have them that are dry, and then you have them that you demo, and then you use the one that's dry, but the one that you demoed you still got. So you could, these silhouettes are going to look fabulous on all of your backgrounds. I just thought I'd use a paper for a change. I know this is the boring bit, watching me glue. Sorry. I'm going as quick as I can. I'm doing it in live time, as in TV time. Let's dab some of that off. Get rid of that. Let's see if we can line this up straight. There we go. So she's sitting there. So it's like a circular triptych, if you like. Because I've dabbed it off, it needs a bit of a press. Okay, so this one, you can see this one I've cut in white, and I'm going to pop it on black, just for something different. Young men, yeah, they are. Yeah, Nathan's very nocturnal. He's he normally goes, well, it's very good for Ed, actually, the cat, because I let the cat out when I go to bed, so any time between, I don't know, well, yesterday it was early, so about 9:30 he went out last night, and then Nathan lets him in, about sometime between about 2 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning, and Ed gets his kind of supper, and then depending on how Ed's feeling, that's the cat, not Nathan. Depending on how Ed's feeling, he'll stay in all night, or he'll pester Nathan to let him out. So Nathan will let him out about 4 o'clock before he goes to sleep, which is really good for Ed. And then sometimes if Ed's out, when I get up, then I can let him in. But if he's in, he just gets bed when I get up. So it's a very kind of comfortable arrangement that we all have, really. Is it called symbiotic? Is that the word? Anyway, it works. See if I can get that. See how it works with the scallop circles? Give that a good old press. Don't know what we got on the back there. Nobody sees the back. I mean, that's just lovely on its own. So then we want a little bit of foam tape. We're going to raise this up a little tiny bit. So I'm just using 1mm foam tape. Back. And then we're going to pop this in the centre between the two. So it'll overlap a little bit, and it also overlap the frame just a tad. Oh, no, I don't want it there. I want it over a bit more. Because I want that to be even. Yeah, I'll do. Okay. So there we go. Yeah, Ed does fit in really well. He's very, very good cat. So that's finished. No sentiment on there. I'd put a sentiment inside. I haven't made a proper card because I'm running out of card. So that's that one. Really, really simple. Nothing to it. Just pretty paper and just your die cuts. That's it. So that's that one. We're going to go a little bit more complicated with the next one. Only a little bit, not a lot. So what we're going to do is first of all make a background. I've got some of the Sentimentally Yours watercolour card, the super smooth watercolour card here. And you can see I've already been making a bit of a mess. I'm using Leonie's method of having a piece of card underneath, but I don't know, I wouldn't use that myself. I'd probably have to fill it in and do all sorts of different things with it, but that's what our Leonie does. And so for the background, I thought what we'd do is have a little bit of a mix of stuff. So I've got some brushos. This is Scarlet. You don't see brushos very often on her chanda now. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little tiny bit on here. I'll do. Don't need loads of this. Pin in the top. And then I've got a couple of Pentart Media Mists. This is gold. There it is. It's got a little ball bearing in it. And watch out for Pentart, because Pentart pop up. Lou's doing the Pentart shows now. Or Leonie does some. Pentart pops up on La Blanche quite a lot, because I know that Blanche likes them. So watch out for those. But these medium mists, these have got mica in them, which is why there's more ball bearing. So we've got gold, and this is your copper. See if I can get that going. Here it's going now. And when you've got a mica mist, you always want to make sure that your mica's nice and you know, it's not hanging around at the bottom. So we're going to give a little bit of a blast of the gold. My gold doesn't spray too well, and you can see that's waking up the brushos. So instead of using water to wake it up, I'm using my mica medium mists. What I do always remember to do is just wipe the nozzle when I've used them. That's the only thing that I do. I don't clean them, I just wipe them. And then we're also going to use some oxides. Now the oxides are totally different to the medium mists, because they're dull, because the pigment in them, they're dull. So when this dries, this will be shiny, but where we put the oxides, it's going to dull it down. So I'm using the oxides. I'm using a spice marmalade and fossilized amber, because they kind of fit in with the theme. And you can see the brushos have moved around quite nicely. So I don't want to put loads of this on. I only want a little bit, because I don't want to dull it down too much. But because I'm going quite close, I might come back again and clean the nozzle of that. I might come back again with my micas in a minute, because I'm not worried about having loads and loads of ink on here. Let's put a little bit more of the mica on, because I don't want to hide it too much. That'll be good. That'll be good. So obviously it's bent because of the fact that I didn't mist on the other side, but that's fine. So I'd put this aside to dry. Let's put those lids on, and we'll find one that's dry already. In good old Blue Peter Hochanda fashion. And they're never going to be the same twice, ever, 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 ever. My bits for this. So this one's dry and flat. So you can see the brushos there. This one hasn't moved around quite so much. But I don't know if you can see, I've got kind of mica bits there and there and there and there. But then the oxide's duller. But it's a really nice mixed background. Yes, Jennifer, I did do some Pentart shows, but I felt that I wasn't the best person to show off those fabulous products. Although I really, really like them, I'm not experienced enough to show them off properly, which is why I stepped back. I still use them at home, and sometimes, like now, I'm using them because the products are fabulous, but I just wasn't the best person. So anyway, so that's my background, but we're going to add something to it as well. And I meant to get my what's it out. I'm going to use this as a stencil. This is our diamond slimline background, and I want to use, I think I want to go with a yellow, but I think I want to go with a bright yellow. So I think I'm going to go mustard seed, and I need to find my mustard seed little sponge, which I meant to do and completely forgot. So empty them all out, Julia. Just find it. Look at them all. They're getting in a bit of a mess here. What's that one? That's mustard seed. Never waste them. Never throw them away. Never wash them. They're all separate. Grab my son is currently 24. He's 25 on the 14th of April. And my daughter Catherine, she lives with her boyfriend down in Gosport near Portsmouth, and she is 26. Is she? Yes, she's 26. She's 27 in August. So we're going to just use this as a stencil. So just add a little bit in. The beauty of using something like this as a stencil means, can you see, it's only subtle. In fact, I might bring another colour in as well. Means that you're actually colouring your card and colouring your die cut as you're going along. It's not showing up quite as much as I want it to. This is a work in progress. So I think I don't know if I've got it out actually. I think I want to use Firebrick. I've bought a labeler, a new labeler, so I can label these, so I can find them a lot easier. I've got them in colours in alphabetical order, but they're Firebrick. I haven't labelled them yet. Okay. So I need to find my Firebrick doodah, what's it thingy as well. Organised as ever. What colour is that? That's weathered wood. Firebrick, what's that one? Crackling campfire. What could I use? Crackling campfire. Aged mahogany. Firebrick. That didn't take too long, did it? Result. Right, let's add it. I can see it, but I want to see it more. So let's go for Firebrick. And we can offset it actually to the yellow one, and it'll be a little bit orange. So we could try and drop shadow it a little bit. Don't know if that's going to work. I don't want to get an edge on. So I was there, so let's just drop it down a little bit. Let's have a look. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Win, 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 win. Let's have a little bit over here. Yeah, I like that. That works. Happy with that. I know you're supposed to do things in threes, but I only want to do two, so I'm only going to do two. Rules are there to be broken, as they say. Get rid of that. Your nephew's 25. Oh, birthday twins. I also thought what might be quite good is to add, there's a brand new stamp book, a bit of All and Create. This may not work because I'm not Leonie and I'm not Abs and I'm not Janet. So we'll see how we get on here. So this is All and Create. This is reverse hexagons. I think I might want to add a little bit around the edge. So I don't need my new one. Looking for my black ink. Which one's that? Yeah. So I'm saying I don't need my new one. I keep my new one for all my silhouette stamps. But this one is absolutely fine. My one that I opened on the 6th. So let's just add a bit of ink around the edge here and just, let's see, add a little bit of a border. Okay, that works better. You see? It's nothing like doing something for the first time live when people are watching. So let's just touch that. Okay, that'll do. I'm happy with that. Clean that afterwards, or not. Right, so there's my piece, there's my background all done. And we're going to map that onto some black card. Oh, let's get rid of that ink there. It's going to go everywhere. That will be wet for a little while, so I've got to be careful not to smudge it as well. It's fallen down. What am I after now? I'm after glue. You're so kind. Right, okay. So that's going on here. See, the black makes it pop. Don't be frightened of black card. I'm going to turn it over to make it stick. Okay, and hopefully it's not moved. Oh, it did, it moved a bit. How rude. Right, I've got little spots on my fingers now. Right, so what I wanted to do now was bring in, now these are left over from when I did some paper piecing with the butterfly corner last time, but I thought we'd add those in, and I'm going to just leave them red. I'm not going to do any paper piecing with them. I'm just going to bring them into my background there. Yeah, black card is, I use black a lot, a heck of a lot. Obviously when I do my I cut all my dies out as soon as I get them to do the boards, but I don't always stick them down straight away. It's a really good thing to do actually, is to, when you get your dies, is to just cut them all just out of white card and play around with them and see how they work together, see how they fit together, see how they make a story together, because sometimes dies will make a story together. I mean, that's the idea that I had with the memory box and the crystal frames and borders and corners. Oh, I got a little bit, I've got to poke out there. You know, just thinking about playing. Oh, it's come out anyway. Right, let's just add a little bit more glue on here. You can, of course, if you don't want to glue, you can use your Elizabeth Craft Designs adhesive. I've spotted that Elsa's got a one-day special this week. So if she has any other double-sided adhesive sheets or rolls, I'd highly recommend those. So this is going to go on here. Where's my bit of... There we go. And we're going to pop that down in this corner. I'm not going for all four corners, I'm just going to do two. And a little bit of background poking through. And then we do this one. So on the shows tomorrow, I've got Yanis at 7. And then I've got, no, that's a lie. My first show isn't at 7. My first show is at 3 p.m. and that's with Yanis. And my second show is at 7 p.m. with Hayley. Just remember what time to... I struggle because there's so many different times. I struggle figuring out what time I need to leave to get there. It'll be all right. I'll be there, don't worry. I'd rather be there early than late. And it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get home. I think the roads will be open. I think I'll be all right tomorrow. Right, okay, that's all done. I'll give this a bit of a daub again. Get rid of the excess. And pop this in this corner. Okay, there we go. Pretty. Look at that background there with those diamonds just really help, and I do quite like the little bit of stamping as well. Quite happy with that. It's a good excuse to pull a stamp out for me to use as well. Okay, and then we're going to add, this is your cat garden, so we're going to add this, and this is just my silhouette. I'm just going to add this as is. I'm not putting it on another die cut because I want to see my lovely background through it. This is what I was talking to you about earlier with the other card. That you've got so many lovely backgrounds that you can just use these lovely silhouettes with, and you don't need to do a lot else because the dies do all the work for you. But you can see all these little flowers in here. You could easily snip these out. In fact, I've just had an idea for another show with these. Okay. Right. Brain's working. I'm all right. It's turned on now. It's only nearly midday. Right. Let's just get rid of the excess of this again. Because the glue does dry clear and matte, but you know, you still want to not have loads of glue. So let's think. He's going to be sitting there. Ovals are funny old shapes. There we go. I think that's straightish. Okay. Then I have got a sentiment for this one. I've got some of the trio frames. This is Dear Friend, and it is from the Sentimentally Yours Occasional Sentiments in the trio frame set. And I've just stamped this onto a piece of the watercolour card as well. And I think what we'll do is, before we stick it on, we'll add a little bit of colour to it. So, which set do I want? I don't want that one. Be right. I'm going for set 4 of the watercolour blending brush pens, and I'm going to choose one of these two. Which one do I want? Let's have a look. Spare piece of card. That looks like a good one. Yes, which one do I want? That's the question, isn't it? I think I'll go for the darker one. And I'm going to just add a little bit of colour to the frame. Makes it look like it belongs to the card. So just direct to the card as opposed to using my water brush. If I wanted a lighter colour, I could go water brush. And here. Very careful of this bit here. Very fine. But the points of the pen do go right in there. I'm quiet now because I'm colouring in. One last bit. So it gives you the impression that you've actually matted it onto different colour card, but you haven't, you just coloured it in. Good. And we want a bit of foam tape. I might put a bit more on actually. Cut it a bit small. That's probably a bit big now. All or nothing. So where am I going to put this? That's a question. I think I'm going to go bottom left. Let's see if we can get that straight. Dear Friend. There we go. So there we go. 2 cards. So we've got that one and we've got that one. 2, I know they're both catty, but you've seen all the dies, I've shown you all the dies, so you know what's on the show. So just as a reminder, you've got 2 shows tomorrow with Tutti Designs at 3 PM and 7 PM. Don't miss out. If there's something that you want, make sure you order it. As I say, it's an American company, so the stock doesn't hang around very long. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on the telly box tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.